the slope-intercept form of the equation from 2 points. Remember, the slope-intercept form of the equation is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So the first thing I want to do is actually find the slope. Remember, slope, m, is equal to, so it's the rise over run. Rise over run. If we had a graph, it would be really easy. We could find the 2 points, make a right triangle, calculate our rise over run, but we don't. So we're going to use our formula. Rise is the change in y. So we're going to do y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Remember this formula? So now it doesn't really matter which pair we call our number 1 or our number 2, or this is our number 1 or this is our number 2. It doesn't really matter as long as whichever one we choose first for the y, that's the one we choose first for our x. So I like to circle my y's. That reminds me to always start with my y's, since my habit is to want to start with the x's first, comes first. And then I like to choose whichever y is the largest. So since 7 is larger than negative 3, I'm going to make this be my first term. So 7 minus, my other y is a negative 3. Make sure it's not 3, it's negative 3, so I'm going to write 7 minus a negative 3. Over, what is my run? Well, run is the change in x's. So since I started with the 7 here, I need to start with the negative 9. Negative 9 minus, and I'm subtracting a negative 6. So I didn't get to just write minus 6, that would have been a positive 6. And now I just do my math. Well, 7 minus a negative 3. Well, that's the opposite of negative 3, so that's positive. So 7 minus a negative 3 is 10. And a negative 9 minus a negative 6, well, that would be a negative 9 plus 6. So this would be a negative 3. I'm going to rewrite that in the proper form of a fraction. So negative 10, well, I guess it's still an improper fraction, but with my negative up at the top. So I'll write it here again. This is actually my m. Now that I have found the m in my equation, I have now found this part. I now need to find my b. How do I do that? Well, in order to solve for one letter of my equation, I have to know everything else. I can only have one unknown. So do I know this? Well, I just found m. And do I know my x and my y? Well, actually, I know 2 x's and y's. Here's an x and a y, and here's an x and a y. So all I need to do is substitute those back into my y equals mx plus b and solve for b. So to start with, y equals mx plus b. And I can use either of these ordered pairs. It does not matter. I like to look to see which x plays nice with my slope. And negative 9 and negative 6 play nice, since the denominator here is 3, and 6 and 9 are both multiples of 3. So I'm actually going to choose this one. I'll start here. Negative 6, negative 3. I could choose either one, both of them will work. So what is my y? Y is negative 3 equals, well, what is m? M I just solved for. Negative 10 over 3. What is x? X is negative 6. And then plus b. That's what I'm trying to solve for. And now I just solve for b. Negative 3 equals. Here I'm actually going to simplify first. So 3, I could multiply across, or this is actually over 1, but I'm going to simplify first. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, and on the top, 6 divided by 3 is 2. Again, we learned that in elementary school. And so negative times a negative is positive. 10 times 2 is 20, and then of course it's just 1 on the bottom, so that would be 20 plus b. And now I need to solve for b, so I'm going to subtract 20 since it's positive. Subtract 20, and then negative 3 minus 20 is negative 23 equals b. So there is solving for b. Now I'm not done. I actually need to write the equation. So I've solved for m, I've solved for b, and now I need to put them back into the equation, but I still need a y and an x. So here's y equals negative 10 thirds, the slope that I found, leaving it in fraction form, that's the best way in this form of the equation, x, and since b was negative, I'm going to put minus 23.